There, folks. I should be live again. We were having a little disconnect. Let me check Periscope. On screen, you should see two feeds. The top left is Philadelphia. The bottom right is Los Angeles. Yeah,
I've got you on YouTube here. That has been successful.
Great.
I'm gonna go ahead and repost the new stream to my timeline on Facebook.
Great, thanks. I mean, we're not as exciting as we were earlier. But
that's good. Boring is good.
Yeah, no news is good news as far as this goes.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be telling people that people are getting tear gassed or pepper sprayed. If this turns out boring, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're not the regular news. We don't have to.
We don't have to be sensationalized.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, Philly looks good.
So I have some stream here from inside the protest from Jen Zavala.
Okay, excellent.
Right, actually, it's not her stream. It's Samantha Jaheen. So
I'm gonna mute myself and check in on my peoples on the street real quick.
Great. See if I can get this to come up. Seems to be buffering.
Which LA feed are you looking at?
I don't remember what his name is. It was the third one in the results.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. That's the same one I'm looking at. I just want to make sure I'm looking at.
All right.
The same one.
It looks like everyone is going towards. Everyone, who the hell is Spirit Quest anyway? Okay, cause you protest. Okay, cause you know me. If you know me, you know I'll protest.
Sorry, you can't see this show. It's on
this
my.
This is in Fishtown.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh, New York and Memphis. I'm gonna record.
Yeah, I can actually turn this camera so you can see what's going on.
Yeah, it's peaceful. I hope it stays peaceful for the rest of the night. I heard multiple explosions last night. It was crazy.
That's not the main feed right now, right?
No, that's
okay,
my camera feed.
Okay, cool. Oh, awesome.
Have we still been monitoring the?
I know. I'm happy. No looting too.
No, we turned it down. I can turn it back up.
I'm just wondering because we've gotten a lot of footage of the Fishtown Kensington group on Gerard, and I know there was an entirely separate group near Center City.
They were over in.
Woo! No room for racists in Fishtown.
So they're currently walking right past the area where the armed white guys were last night.
Yeah, I want to know an update.
Group or
sorry,
you're referring to the Fishtown group?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna check my DM in a minute.
Yeah, I want an update on that guy they said had an assault rifle.
Okay,
earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully that man has been arrested because Philadelphia is not an open carry.
At this point, they have to be close out of the middle right now.
That was tolerated last night was almost more upsetting to me than the fact that there were like, okay, if you want to stand outside with baseball bats and whatever, that's one thing. But when you sort of let at the Philadelphia, there was a picture on my timeline of.
So you're gonna give me a test count? My second backup. How do you read me 1, 2, 3?
Individuals with various different forms of assault weapons. One of them appeared to have a BAR, which I don't know.
So you're gonna give me a test count? How do you read me 1, 2, 3 on my second backup?
But that is like a
Isaac 26, loud and clear.
Pre-World War II era
Loud and clear.
firearm, which makes makes me think that he's had that's his grandpappy's
Packer, can we
rifle
talk
that
to
he's
state
had
police
since the
to get their
Prohibition
location?
era. I'll see if I can get that image for you. Hold on.
Packer, I'm sorry, switching over. What's that message?
In reference to the state police on 95 with that white vehicle, is it possible to contact them and get their location?
I don't know if you. There's a lot of stuff happening in Los Angeles right now where they're calling for our.
There you have that white, the white blazer?
I'm sorry, they're calling
I want
for
to see
who
where
to
the
resign?
state police is.
The police chief
That way
in
we
Los
can gauge
Angeles.
where on 95 the white blazer is.
He gave a speech
Stand
and
by, we'll give him a call.
was basically like
Anyone there stopping in the intersection
blood
of
is on the protesters' hands for all the vandalism. And
Yeah,
everyone's
and then he
like,
apologized
what
like
now?
4 times.
What?
Yeah, it was not. And well, I haven't heard the later apologies, but his first apology
Alright, we
was
have the other
not.
one at Cocoa Walnut, the
the
other one
best
at
apology.
Frankfurt, and, I'm sorry, Frankfurt
He was
and...
like, oh,
Was
it's
it
not what
like
I meant.
I'm sorry I got caught or not?
No, it was a sincere apology, sincere-ish apology. He was like, I completely misspoke. I should not have blamed anything on the protesters. It was just the way it was, like the way the sentence came out, not actually meant that way. So it was a sincere-ish apology.
So it was not poorly intended, it was poorly thought out and expressed.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. When you're the police chief of a major city like that, I don't think you deserve do-overs and stuff like that. Like
at all the intersection. It looks like
how
they're trying to
you
make a
interact
way to
with and
go.
treat the public is extremely critical
And
to your
he
job.
was,
So you got to get that right.
yeah, and it's not like it was an off-the-cuff statement. He was reading it from a piece of paper
Alright,
that he had
Frankfurt,
pre-written.
All right, I'm gonna try and bring in the scanner here.
Oh, good.
Okay. Stand by, we'll give him a state call.
Sorry to interrupt real quick. Just as an update
I
to
thought
that
you were
image
just-
I was talking. I'm sorry?
That was the scanner.
All right, Tom 7, we're going to be continuing down Walnut Street. Have the unit start taking 1 street south, please. We're approaching 22nd.
Alright, they're approaching 22nd Street from Walnut, eastbound. Putting your closures, please. They're approaching 22nd, eastbound, on Walnut. Putting your closures in effect, please.
For that job.
Initially came out first with a gun. At the time, they said it was a male that was shooting at a helicopter or shooting in the air. It was a 60-year-old white male. At the time, wearing a gray shirt and jeans. Mid-50s, early 60s, white male, white hair, 5'8" height.
For the people on the bike said that they're leading the march toward City Hall.
Alright, you see guys, the people on the bike said that they're leading the crowd to City Hall from 22nd and Walnut. Unit 2's caution. People on the bikes are leading the crowd to City Hall from 22nd and Walnut. All Unit 2's caution.
Charlie 11. The protesters are now at Trenton and York, and they are peaceful.
Alright, we have another group at Trenton and York now.
Correct, and they're moving southbound.
Alright, southbound from Frankfurt and York.
That's correct.
Alright,
I say Trenton or Frankfurt, I'll let you know.
received, sir. My Unit 2's caution. We have a crowd at York from Trenton and from Frankfurt traveling.
That's what mass get into those stores there. Can you let the 25th and 39 know?
Not even know what store or just all of them? Alright.
Sea Rise are traveling southbound from Frankfurt towards Girard.
Attacker, the 2 groups are going to meet up in about a block or 2.
Alright, so they're all going to meet up in the same area?
It appears.
Awesome. Thank you. Units use caution.
2011. Was that last transmission?
The two crowds that are marching, they're all coming together.
Air groups continuing on Frankfurt and back in the direction towards Girard. PRT break 1.
PRT break 1?
Yeah, this is marching on Walnut Street. The bikes that are leading the column, they're stopped 2-2 in Walnut.
Alright, yes, we were the march. He's taking a walk and stop. March.
So it sounds like
anyone, if in fact they do make it back to Girard, they head west. I don't want any interaction with that bar. Again, we got to keep them. We got to wall them off from that bar.
Be advised. If they do travel back to Girard, Frankfurt, we want to wall them off from that bar. Use caution, please. I'm going to wall off these people off from the bar at Frankfurt and Girard if they get there.
Girard, but thank you, man.
So that request is basically to keep folks from interacting with the bar that a lot of folks from last night's action were hanging out at. And it also sounds like the group that marched into West Philly is now marching back towards Center City on Walnut Street.
They said 22nd in Walnut?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm kind of surprised I don't have anybody in either of these crowds at the moment. I would love to restream anybody's info if they are in either of these crowds. So if you are out there in either of these crowds and you would like to stream your info, please let me know.
Okay, they're parking at the strip mall, Gerard and Burke. Keep talking. They're coming up behind you guys. Close it.
Groups that block. They're at a standstill between Susquehanna and Philadelphia.
Alright, so the group has all come together at Susquehanna and Dolphin. The group has all come together.
Anyone, apparently there's a larger group, which is the group I'm with on Frankfurt Avenue, and then there's another group at that second location. I don't know how large or small that other group is.
Back here, how big is the crowd there that came together?
The second group that was going north on Frankfurt was probably about 100. That was the group that was going southbound. They're not moving now. They're in the middle of the block now.
Alright, so I Susquehanna.
Pretty much one consolidated group right now then.
So they're talking about what is actually on screen right now.
Here, 2-1, approaching 2-1, 20th Street on Walnut, eastbound.
Alright, the crowd is approaching 20th Street. They're still traveling eastbound on 1. All units putting your closures into effect. There should be no traffic on 1 eastbound or westbound. They are approaching 20th Street. All units use caution.
Alright, correct in mind the 15th, Salmon and Cordon's coming in the first with a gun. Report of 5 to 6 white males. One's armed with a shotgun. That's in the 15th, Salmon and Cordon, first with a gun. 5 to 6 white males, one's armed with a shotgun.
15th, Solomon and Croydon, first with a gun. What about a group of white males? One is armed, no flash. Solomon and Croydon, first with a gun. It's a group of white males. One is armed with a shotgun, no flash.
An investigation on somebody with a drone.
Some sound that we heard.
What's that location again, sir?
Schuylkill and Market.
Google Market, I got it. With the drones.
There's a fifth grader speaking
Back here,
out
you
in
caution. We
LA.
hit some spam. Please don't
Yeah,
the
I'm
drone
watching
out there at
right
Google
now.
Market. You caution.
High security, we got it. We got the
So tiny.
drone there. We're doing an investigation right now.
Okay. So did they just say there's a bunch of white males with shotguns in Philadelphia?
A group of 6 white males. One has a shotgun, yes. But that was over by Croydon, as far as I understood. So the group in North Philly is at Frankfurt and Dauphin.
Eastbound on Passion Rittenhouse.
Okay, they now passing Rittenhouse, eastbound on Walnut.
Is that Circle Thrift?
Comp 7, if I have any enforcement vehicles, have them travel on Chestnut Street.
I think it is.
Make sure the southbound running streets are blocked.
It is.
People are sneaking
They're
through
right
here
there.
and there. Getting
Wow.
stuff in.
My old stomping ground.
I was gonna say, you spent some time in Circle Thrift.
You talking about
Sure did.
Walnut?
Well, and I lived like
I got this
right around the
southbound running
corner
streets.
from it for a while.
I have some cars are getting stuck in their protest. I just need them blocked on Chestnut.
It's beautiful. Seeing
Contact
everybody
X14X.
like that.
Who got the Logan Street blocking up there?
I wish it didn't have to happen, but it's beautiful to see.
Frankfurt Dauphin.
Read it.
Philadelphia, Frankfurt Dauphin.
Alright, thank you.
If this were a movie, it would be this shot, and then it would fade out, and it would be like, and everything was fine after that.
Yeah.
Travel on Chestnut Street. Don't let them go down too long, please.
I dated to you right quick.
Well,
Frankfurt
there
and
are
Dauphin, we got about 300
so many
protesters out there.
people
Frankfurt and Dauphin, there's
out in
26,
LA
300
right now.
protesters.
Huge, several thousand people in front of the police headquarters right now.
Did you find an aerial shot of it or anything?
Yeah, the news came back on.
Could you send me a link?
Yes. That's from
Sorry,
one of the local
be
news.
advised, curfew enforcement will be relaxed. Anyone returning from the building pools until 9 p.m. This curfew enforcement will be relaxed for anyone returning from the building pools until 9 p.m. WPRW 578 is 825.
That's interesting. I don't know if you just heard that, but that was the dispatch saying that curfew would be relaxed for anybody returning from the protests.
Wow.
Until 9 p.m.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Alright, 25th, 32, 55 North American, Republic burglary in progress. Same Hispanic male, short, long hair, black shirt, last seen towards Westmoreland. Then 25th, 3255 North American, Republic burglary in progress. Got a report of Hispanic male, short, long hair, black shirt, last seen towards Westmoreland.
So for folks watching the live stream, the bottom right-hand corner is LA right now, in front of the Los Angeles Police headquarters.
In front of
Top left is Philadelphia at Frankfurt and Dauphin. Right out in front of the Circle Thrift.
Yeah.
Do we have a tweet on the Center City group?
Yeah, they seem to be coming back towards City Hall.
Copy, thank you.
So they're on Walnut still, and they're coming back towards City Hall. The last I heard was about 5 minutes ago at 21st.
Payne 259.
Yes, sir.
Alright, hoping going to 7,000 State Road.
Yeah, it looks like some really amazing interaction is going on. The Circle Thrift.
Yeah, can I just say that as I've been observing these demonstrations unfold over the course of the past couple of days, this has been the most generally positive imagery I've seen since, I would say, probably around when we left the art museum steps on Saturday. It was as we were walking back towards City Hall that it felt like things were starting to deteriorate. I think that's when some of the bad actors in the crowd started to lash out and vandalize and
It's like the RT1 protest. The bikes that are leaving it, they're stopped at 1-6 and just not waiting for the rest to catch up.
I think that we might have lost that feed for LA.
Yeah, I saw that. I've pulled that.
I can find another one.
Yeah, if you can see if you can find another one.
First number 7 District Northeast Boulevard in Selma Road. We get a report of an explosion behind Washington High School near Indian Church. Report of a vehicle that exploded. Northeast Boulevard in Selma. Report of an explosion. Get a report of a possible vehicle that exploded behind Washington High School. No further.
So I have a live feed from New York.
Oh, great.
Via Facebook, via the Time News channel.
One second, please. In regards to the explosion, we're also getting 10175 Boston Avenue as well. CR4, proceed, sir.
Yeah, can you raise whatever spot supervisor you can have, and I'm going to relay my number. You can give me a call on my cell phone.
Oh, don't give out your cell phone number again.
Oh no.
Oh man, that's the second time this has happened.
Were you raising a SWAT supervisor?
That is correct. CR4, I'm going to swatch the supervisor, give him a call. You want to relay the number when you're ready.
I'm going to turn down the volume just so that I don't
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Because that's actually one of the supervisors that does the crowd control, the peaceful crowd control, and I don't want him to get inundated with calls just because of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try and help the one guy trying to do good work out there.
Yeah.
Well, trying to do good outwork, so from not getting trolled by bad actors.
I'm going to assume that he's done now.
Time 4.
Have the unit cut Walnut Street traffic at 10th Street, nothing on Walnut Street because we don't know which way these guys are going now.
Alright, nothing on Walnut Street right now, nothing on Walnut Street. We're not sure which way they're going.
So it sounds like they're back to 10th
Like,
and Walnut now.
can you get a location of Isaac 30, please?
Chris?
Isaac 30?
Yeah, thanks. The people that
On the 18th and March.
they weren't able to rendezvous with the main group, head home, and they'll head back out. They said they were planning on heading back out again tomorrow, but just because there were multiple groups in multiple different locations, and the ability to track them wasn't consistent, they weren't actually able to rendezvous with any of the major groups, unfortunately.
Mm.
Please try to give me a call on my cell phone.
Got a whole package and route out there. We're on T-Band. I'll give you a call.
Yep, okay. Disregard it. Thank you.
So now anybody watching the live stream, the lower right-hand corner is a live feed from New York. Well, that's not live feed from New York. That's a couple hours ago from New York. It's from the Time News channel. They've been live streaming New York as curfew hits. The top left is Fishtown. Looks as though there's a group of police vehicles. I'm just going to actually make Fishtown the whole entire screen. Looks like there's a group of police vehicles getting ready to, I don't know, confront protesters? Ask them to go home? I don't know. I guess they just don't want the protest to continue going on all night?
Well, I mean, there's a curfew, I guess.
Well,
I guess it starts now, right? It's 8:30 where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 8:30, but they said they were relaxing till 9. I'm wondering if that was part of the dialogue that we witnessed earlier while James.
Oh, yeah.
There was a moment where it appeared to be a leader from the protest and I keep calling them white shirts, but maybe that's an appropriate commanding officer from the PPD. And they engaged in a dialogue. It appeared like they shook hands, maybe embraced for a moment, and there was positive reaction on the part of the protesters. I'm wondering if maybe that the extension of the curfew and the general attitude of law enforcement and protesters since then has been influenced by that.
Yeah.
I wish we were able to stream that to everybody because that was one of the. I mean, it was from a helicopter, so it wasn't the best image, but it was one of the more uplifting images that I had seen because it seemed to be a really genuine interaction between members of the protest and members of law enforcement.
He's off in and out.
I'll receive.
Voting polls until 9 p.m. WPRW 578 is 834.
That's an excellent view of that route.
Yeah.
Tom 7, they're going to be turning north. Just keep Walnut Street closed until they get off of it. And they're heading back up to City Hall, so be prepared for it.
Eddie,
It
1
really seems like their
knows that where
focus seems to
Oxford
be
Mill Department is.
protecting protesters on the street.
Senior Howard Gerard, does that ring a bell in the 26 Oxford
Yeah,
Mill
I mean,
Department?
from an outside perspective, I agree. It feels like the tactics of the police have shifted from intimidation and control to facilitating and
the reason I'm asking, somebody's giving me information. I'm not sure if it's valid or not, but there's a man on a red shirt with a rifle walking around an apartment complex near Howard or Gerard, and a red shirt with a rifle, according to the information.
It's going to be Howard and Oxford to block off our street.
What's that we're seeing in the bottom right?
Yeah, woman told me he's got a rifle. He's facing around in a red shirt.
Bottom right corner is New York, continuing protests past 8 p.m. And
yeah, they got a barricade going on Hancock Street. It's probably that male. It sounds like the same description.
It sounds, and on the scanner we're
actually,
hearing...
the young lady showing me her phone. She's got a current video of him pacing around with the rifle.
We're hearing continuing reports of a man on Hancock Street with a rifle. So if you're in the South Philly area, just do be careful out there. There is an armed man with a red shirt on with a rifle. Drawing my attention back to the helicopter coverage of Fishtown, this tactic has been done before. So you see about a dozen police vehicles coming behind a group of bicycle officers, basically sweeping behind the protest march. And it's not a driving tactic, it's not an intimidation tactic. What it is just to ensure that the march continues going in one direction, that people don't just decide to randomly return. So they're now at Frankfurt and Berks. They're making their way north. They're going to run out of Philly relatively soon.
They're going to run out of Philly.
Yeah. I mean, you get much past Oxford.
Yeah, there's not really much past Oxford at that point. You're getting into I don't even know what suburb that would be.
So I don't know what the protest plan is in general, but
yeah, what's going to be interesting is if they're relaxing the curfew for the protests till 9 p.m. Does that mean the curfew for the protest is 9 p.m. and people are going to be allowed to return home unharassed? Or does that mean that once 9 p.m. hits, are they going to start, getting forceful with the curfew? That's what I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I don't have any answers to that, but
no, surely, I just, that's what because everything has been really positive thus far, and I want it to end positively, and I really hope that the PPD and protesters, all cooler heads prevail for everyone, and everyone just goes home safely, and we don't have to have the continuing chaos that, is ultimately detrimental to both sides in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
we can have a debate about that, but
I think a certain amount of chaos is warranted, but I think at a point it becomes dangerous to people who aren't involved in the protest, just general civilians, and it becomes dangerous for protesters, and it's sort of, not that it actually justifies, but it justifies in the minds of people who are spectating it, aggressive action on the part of law enforcement. So, my point being that I hope everything resolves in a very peaceful way, because everything's been fairly peaceful thus far.
Did we lose that Philly feed?
Yeah, for the moment, something's going on with it. I don't know whether they stopped feeding it or if it's a computer problem on my end.
I can't have them anywhere near that bar where the bottle for
So I'm going to make the New York feed full screen for a few.
Hey, James, if you get a second, if you recall earlier, I was talking to Devin about acquiring certain resources and distributing them, and you wanted to refer him to an organization. If you could just link me that organization in Messenger so I could get that information.
I will do as soon as I figure out why my computer is not reacting.
Right, yeah, no. Take your time.
So interestingly, on the New York feed, folks are leaving the protest via subway, and on the overhead shot of the Philadelphia protest, I was wondering if a lot of people are going to just go to the Frankfurt terminal and get on the Market Frankfurt line.
I wonder if that was in any way intentional from the people leading. I wonder if they were like, if we get people to a public transit hub, if that's a good way to resolve this without having people straggling around and walking on the street and biking home to, where they're going to be more subject to scrutiny from law enforcement.
That's a good question.
So far, the big group in front of the mayor's house in Los Angeles. Peaceful, but we've got our curfew starts in 20 minutes, so just keeping an eye on that. That seems to be one thing in the past when I've been watching things.
What time? Just offhand, what time is it out there?
It's a 5:42 p.m.
Copy. Yeah, that's cool.
But it looks like I'm seeing a lot of, when the chopper zooms in, I'm seeing a lot of people on the front line of the protest shaking hands with the police and engaging them. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference when curfew time hits, but
it would be really good to see them do something similar to what we're seeing in Philly, where they're like, okay, we'll give you till the curfew and then time to go home. I think that would be a really, really good both PR and just tactical move by the law enforcement agencies involved to avoid conflict.
I mean, the curfew itself upsets me on principle, but yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. entirely. I don't think.
But I would much rather have the police being like, okay, curfew time, we're just giving you time to go home, as opposed to them like driving in and tear gassing everyone, which is what they've been doing for the last 3 or 4 days. But
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna have something that's negative like a curfew, having it in a way that is the least damaging is obviously preferable. You know, as much as people, you know, hemmed and hawed and wring their hands over the more violent aspects of the demonstrations that took place this weekend, I think, and maybe my takeaway as we're seeing a little bit more civility between both sides, I think, you know, as much as people want to say like, oh, violent protest is undermining, I think it's showing that it worked. I think it's showing that, you know, like when you treat people like that, you're going to get a response, and it's maybe changed the tone, and law enforcement agencies have realized that they can't do that because it won't get them the result that they want. Or at least that's an early conclusion to draw, because we're still seeing how it plays out.
I hope so.
I think I'm being hopeful here, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know if this has been updated, but I just saw that the state of Minnesota is filing a civil rights charge against the Minneapolis Police Department.
Yeah, we had talked about that as
good.
of 3 p.m. today.
That was like this morning, right?
Yeah, I think the charges were filed this morning, and the announcement was 3 p.m. today.
Good, because that is everything that I've heard from people who live there. It's like, I guarantee. All right, this is all speculation, but I think I'm right. I guarantee you, when they look into that police department, I am sure that there is massive corruption. Like, I'm sure they're taking bribes. I'm sure they're misappropriating funds. I'm sure that there's like a weird, creepy betting pool amongst the police. Like, because you don't get to that sort of level of things without years of protection for each other and years of little tiny steps of encouraging bad behavior and watching each other's back and things like that. And it leaves itself so ripe for a corrupted system. That makes me so happy. What they really need is a full investigation, and I guarantee you a lot of stuff is going to happen if it's done properly.
I would say, and I mean, I may be biased here, but I would say that the system exists in any police force to create that sort of problem.
Yeah. The system, the way it's set up now, you know, people talk about good cops and bad cops. Like, yes, there may be good cops out there. I am sure there are. But the way the system is, they can't even be good. Like, they can't be good. The system prevents them from it.
Right.
So
and
it must be so frustrating for them.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of aspects to this in my head anyway. So one of the things is, you know, you can say all cops are bad, and there's a certain level of validity to that, in that you can say all cops, if they witness a fellow cop not and don't say something that makes them a bad cop. If they witness their fellow cop doing something wrong. Then the only question becomes, Or is it also like when you say all men are bad?
Yeah, and it's either like all, like, the police system, basically the police system is bad. Like, that's really what it is.
Right,
like,
so it's a lot like toxic masculinity in the way you're talking about it.
Yes, it's actually a very good analogy. It's like, yeah, there are good guys out there, but even the best guy benefits from the badness of other men. And it's a very similar thing to, like, the actual system of the police encourages corruption and prevents good people from being good. In the example you gave about how, like, they're very discouraged it's discouraged or almost impossible to report on other police officers if they do bad things. Even just the whole thing of having, you have to issue so many tickets or so many things like that. Like that doesn't encourage community engagement. That doesn't encourage talking. There's all these things that are set up that just make it impossible for them. Not that they are bad, but the system.
I think impossible is a little bit strong. I would give you difficult.
Very, very difficult. Yeah, and it discourages good behavior.
And I would agree with that completely.
Yeah, because it's not even the individual. Yes, there are individual bad police officers for sure. We have much evidence of that. But it discourages the good police officers. I feel for them, I'm sure there's so many people that join the police force with really good intentions, and they have to work so hard to be good. It should be the opposite. It should be very difficult to be bad.
Yeah. I'm going to bring the scanner in a little bit louder again, just to see. We had some question as to where South Philly is.
Sam 1.
I haven't heard anything.
You have another job in the 35th, right?
That's correct, sir. They just declared it. 1543 West Champlain is the location. 1543 West Champlain, staging area is 1501 Champlain. 35, Tom 25 is the communication card. Declared by 35 Charlie.
And I haven't heard anything.
I received. I'll be over with a team, and what do we got? What's the details on the job?
It initially came as a person screaming. There's a 47-year-old male inside causing a disturbance, being violent, no flash, possibly a 302, proof for Einstein.
Charlie Paul.
So I haven't heard anything.
Charlie Paul, Sam 1. Sir, give me 1 second. Sam 1, you received that?
Sam 1, I received that. Who declared that radio? That was 35th Command?
35 Charlie, according to the notes, sir. Give me 1 second. Charlie, CI4 State was notified to relocate those officers.
CI4, okay. If they can come to where we're at, that would be great.
I told them 1510 North Hancock. Charlie 5, your message, sir.
Hey, Charlie 5, I'm going to be up at the 26th District Barricade, CI4, send Isaac 42 and CI6 to the 35th Barricade.
Isaac 42 and CI6, okay. Isaac 42, CI6 received?
CI6, I'm over to General Stone Radio.
Alright, sir, thank you.
See, when I got their details, I'll switch over.
Alright, sir, thank you. Isaac 42 here.
Isaac 42.
From Charlie 5, show you item 35th in regards to that barricade there, sir. 1540% plus.
I'm with CI6 now. I am in reserve.
Yeah. Can't go down.
Tom 82, can we get the state to block off the off-ramp 676 westbound at 22nd Street, please? Or one of our traffic units?
For MDT transmissions in the area.
35th District, 1701 Wagner Place. Again, 35th, no radio MPT transmissions in the area, 1701 Wagner Place. Only the third floor unit, middle closet for 2 brown bags with wires. Use caution.
Alright, car 35th, 1701 Widener Place, stepping on radio MPT transmission until further notice. I said 35th, 1701 Widener Place, stepping on radio MPT transmission, 3rd floor. In the middle closet, we got to put 2 brown bags with wires connected to them. Military cost of an 8 time, now it's 8:53 p.m. Same 8:10, okay.
So do we know the location of the feed that we're watching right now? I'm sorry, I lost track of where we were at.
The top left corner feed is up by Frankfurt and Osage. The bottom right corner feed is Manhattan, New York. I have an additional helicopter feed, but it's not really showing anything. It's not staying locked into one place, and I haven't heard anything on the radio about where the group that had come to West Philly and then come back got to.
1543, attack arrow. Yeah, they're on top of me, Charlie 5. I'm out of the first barricade. Okay. Sam 1's en route to the second barricade out there. As soon as we wrap up here, we'll roll over there, sir.
Okay, the other helicopter seems to have found the second group. Mostly bicyclists, but I don't know what exactly they're doing. See if I can pull it up on my other computer here.
Yes, sir. Let me double check on that. Give me 1 second. Okay, no, in regards to the barricade, you said 35 Charlie, you cleared it? Yeah, I think, 35 Charlie, you cleared it.
There's, it's about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's already called my cell phone when we get to minus here, 215.
I put a link to a live feed in Hollywood, and I'm hearing